Good evening, everyone. I am Lanisha Wetherington, and I am taking a big leap of faith. Mel Robbins said in one of her many lessons that I've listened to that do something that scares you every day or you're uncomfortable with. And today I am going to do something that is a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but I believe that the universe is pointing me to start this video series. It's going to be called Grief, My Old Friend. He and I go way back, and yes, I said he. I believe grief, in my instance, is a man. It's not some psychology. I just believe that grief is a male figure, just like my husband believes his truck is a female. So, but we're going to go on a journey together. Hopefully you'll join me. The journey is going to be discussing grief and the impact it has had on my life, but the impact that it has on your life and others' lives that I've come in contact with. I believe as a nation right now, we are grieving. I think that it's masked in sadness and loneliness and isolation and anger and fear. And I think a lot of times that simply behind all of it is grief. And grief, most people think, is a loss of a loved one through death. But I believe that grief can be any death of something that is important in your life, whether it be a loved one. In my case, I've had many. It could be the loss of a job, the loss of a friend, loss of a relationship, loss of your home, loss of what your normal is, status quo. I think that we can grieve on many different levels for many reasons. And I just believe that now is the time more than ever to discuss it and talk about it, because I think we need it as a whole to understand that that is grief that we're going through and understand it, know the stages of it and where we are within those stages and how to help get ourselves to a place that we can continue to grow. I believe that grief can be a stalemate. It can leave you in a state of desperation, of fear, of sadness, and isolation. And I think that as women specifically, we pass it off as just having a bad day or just struggling and being overwhelmed. But at the root of it, I believe that there's a grief associated with that. So I'm going to share my story, and I'm going to probably share stories of my friends and my family members and how I have seen them grieve and how it's impacted my life personally and how it's impacted their life. And I hope that in the end I've accomplished two things. One, that I embrace the grief that I am experiencing and be able to push through and become a better person. And I also hope that there's someone out there who is feeling lonely and sad and in need of reassurance that they're not alone. You're not alone. There's a lot of us who are in the same exact spot that you may be in, and that is why I am doing this. The universe has been pointing its finger at me for a while in regards to grief, and I've woken up in the middle of the night, early morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. If you know me, I'm not a 4 o'clock in the morning person. And I've been thinking about this for a while, and I believe now is the time to talk about it. So I am pursuing and pushing forward to discuss grief as I see it. I don't have a PhD in psychology. I don't have a PhD in social work or grief counseling. I do have a PhD in life. And so what you will see and hear on these videos going forward is my opinion and my personal experiences, not to be confused with a professional. So take that as it is. My ultimate goal is really encapsulated in a quote that I saw a week or two ago that really impacted me, and it can kind of solidified the deal that I was going to start the series. So by me putting this on the video stream on Facebook will hold me accountable, and will hopefully bring some light to others. And the quote I'm going to read to you, it's on my wall because it's that impactful to me. It says, "Tell the story of a mountain you climbed. Your words could become a page in someone else's survival guide." And I truly believe that. I believe that we go through tests in our lives and we go through things in our lives to help us become better. But I also believe that those tests are there for us to help others with. It's almost that I have overcome these things, and so you can too. So I hope that in the end of this conversations, through the next couple of weeks, and maybe even months, I don't know where it's going to lead, but I hope that you'll join me. And if you have a friend or a family member or know someone who you see as sad and depressed and anxious and lonely and isolated, then encourage them and share this with them to be a part of this journey. I look forward to hearing from all of you, and hopefully spreading my knowledge to help others. So good night, and I look forward to the next episode of Grief, My Old Friend.